Hi everyone, it's QuickyBaby and welcome back to World of Tanks. And something magical happened last weekend during the arcade cabinet game mode, and that was, I felt like I had a glimpse of World of Tanks past and the fun that could be had in it. I'm playing in the arcade cabinet game mode right now, and if any of you missed it last weekend, it was the opportunity to be able to take low tier vehicles, of which I'm the only tier 3 in this entire battle, out against tier 10 tanks, as everyone had their hit points rescaled. As you can see here, alpha damages were rescaled, penetrations were rescaled, although still 163 against tier 10 tanks. That's not particularly awesome. But all in all, it made it so that you could actually play some of the crazy tanks, crazy fun tanks in the game, but you weren't playing in those horrible, drivel, low-tier games that we currently have, which are filled with overpowered tanks and I was going to say stream snipers. That's probably just a me problem, but should we say seal clubbers, people who are just playing those vehicles all day, every day, and they've got all of the advantages in them, and there's just nobody actually playing the regular tech tree tanks anymore. And this is a problem that Wargaming have created. Wargaming, when they streamlined the tech trees by effectively making it so that everyone started at tier 5 and they made all of the low tier tanks collectors tanks, it just massively reduced the variety of low tiers. Now, if any of you have played a tier 3 tank recently, you're probably just going in against the tier 3 German premium medium tank if everyone's trying to pad their stats and get like 60 or 70% win rate just for literally signing up with Wargaming's albeit rigged matchmaker, as it stacks all of the medium tanks on one team and all of the light tanks on another team, and that is truly not very fair. So tier 3 is completely ruined, tier 2 is practically ruined, nobody seems to play tier 2 anymore because nobody has to play tier 2 to get up the tech trees like they used to. And because of that, the process of it has been ruined, and it's got to the stage where nobody actually wants to play it, and this is a compounding feature inside World of Tanks, so that low tiers are practically dead. So Arcade Cabinet was an opportunity to take some of those low tier tanks out onto the battlefield, and although you were at a significant disadvantage as you could only take 2 consumables and 2 equipments in your tier 3s, no consumables and equipment in tier 1s, and only 1 piece in tier 2. And one of my biggest recommendations for Wargaming, if they do Arcade Cabinet again, is they have to find a way to change the equipment and consumable loadouts on low-tier vehicles again. Again, a problem that Wargaming created, I guess, to try and prevent people from seal clubbing, but in actuality, all they should have done is just limited. They should have just hard-capped the crew skills at maybe like 2 or 3 instead of 6, like it used to be. The problem was, as it used to be, is that some people would get like 10 crew skills on their tier 1 tank and have a tremendous advantage against everyone else. But no, that's no longer possible. Should Wargaming just go back to having all of the equipment slots? I mean, the low tiers are ruined anyway, so it's unfortunate that we're in a position where you have to play these tanks with a handicap of not being able to even fight back with the amount of consumables and equipment that you're using. But I digress. I need to just focus on that feeling of World of Tanks, and that is, I'm playing a low-tier vehicle with really funky mechanics, a quick reload, and just blazing those shells, and also this tiny size. The tiny size allows you to do some really funky things that other vehicles can only dream of. And to just be like pumping out good damage numbers in a game mode like this, and seeing that variety of vehicles where everyone's kind of just spreading all over the map, just reminds me of all of the different problems that World of Tanks has these days. Of which I'm probably going to have to do an entire YouTube video thinking about it. When I've been thinking about the video that I want to make today, it's almost spawning an even bigger one. But again, I digress for the second time. I want to try to focus at what's at hand, and that is the Panzer 1C that could right now. I lost my... Nice to be small there. I lost my commander very early on in the battle, and I want to highlight just how crazy my driver must be in the vehicle right now. They're like aiming, they're driving, then they're loading in all of these shells, while they're also having to kind of like radio the team and tell them what's going on. This is definitely the little Panzer 1C, and this driver is doing the ultimate multitasking right now. Again, one of the worst things about the equalizer game mode is that if you want to use a premium consumable like me, that you had to sacrifice that med kit, and so you had quite a few crew deaths in those low tier vehicles. But what am I right now? What is this? What is this sandwich, boys and girls? It's just brilliant. It's amazing. It really is. And this was probably the most fun game that I've had in World of Tanks in, God, I say it, weeks, if not months, honestly. Just the banter, the playing these low tier vehicles. And I used to do this all the time against low tier players. But now, low tier tanks meet the same 3 maps. There's no opportunity for variety. Nobody's playing a variety of tanks. Everyone's playing the same overpowered tier 3s. And you're not actually playing with and against players who are actually fresh in the game. You're playing with and against ultra sweaty players playing their overpowered vehicles to go and pad their stats. It's just such a sad thing that Wargaming has hundreds of low-tier vehicles, or at least 100 low-tier vehicles, which are really interesting and really fun, and yet through decisions and changes that they've made to the game, they've practically ruined any opportunity that you have to enjoy them, because the matchmaker at low tier, it's truly dead. It's absolutely truly dead. Wargaming's desire to streamline their game, to force everybody up towards the high tier as quickly as possible, has rendered one of the most interesting parts of World of Tanks, which was always low tier, now just obsolete. But you know what? Wargaming probably don't care that they've sacrificed kind of like 100 of their interesting vehicles at low tier, because if they can force you to have to jump up to tier 5 and then get you into a tier 8 premium tank as quickly as possible, then that's what their goal is, to try and turn people into, I guess, paying customers. Now, my argument is that a lot of people who probably would be happy with a little bit of the variety and still be paying customers inside World of Tanks have lost that ability to be able to jump down and play a few of the vehicles that they grew up playing, right? And I think that low tiers is just in a horrendous position because of it. And the game is vastly worse because of it. I am giving them the good old Christian side hugs here, boys and girls. Oh my word. I mean, if this was not one of the most legendary games of low tier World of Tanks, I don't know what there is to say. 10,000 combined here and killing 5 of the enemy team with a dead driver literally throughout the entirety of the battle, showing you what you can do with these funky low tier tanks if you use mechanics correctly, i.e. getting alongside your vehicles, getting underneath their guns, causing chaos. And this is something that you can only really do in a vehicle like, I guess, the ELC even 90, or alternatively the ELC AMX at tier 5. But to be able to do it in a German tank at tier 3 with a little pop, pop, pop gun. Oh man, there are so many of these beautiful vehicles at low tier that, fair enough, Wargaming nerfed. But this isn't and I think this tank probably did need a nerf because it was very good, right? But this isn't a case of them nerfing individual vehicles to balance overpowered tanks. Wargaming have pretty much obliterated and nerfed low tier completely to a point where, honestly, every time that somebody votes for a low tier tank on my poll website, I just know I'm not signing up for a good time. I'm signing up for pain and suffering and one of the most unenjoyable experiences ever. So it's amazing to me that Wargaming have speed ran ruining low tier World of Tanks. And I'd be really interested if World of Tanks will ever get popular enough again, with enough people playing low tiers for it to feel different. But then again, what am I saying? Even if it did get super popular again with lots of people playing low tiers, they wouldn't have to. They'd be streamlined with Wargaming's awful decision to streamline those tech trees, to remove all of the vehicles, to make them all collectors, that people aren't going to have to play these tanks. People aren't going to have to play any vehicles at low tier to be able to get up the tech tree. And then the biggest problem then is that when they don't have to play the vehicles, it's not that you have less players at low tier, it's that the kind of tanks that you meet are all the premium vehicles, or all of the overpowered tech tree tanks that people play to Seal Club. The lack of variety feels stale, and honestly, the game feels really stale. And so it was so refreshing for me to have this round and blow off a little bit of steam and have fun inside the arcade cabinet. Truly getting a glimpse of what made WoT great 10 years ago. But I'd be really interested to know what you think in the comments down below. Do you still have fun playing at low tiers? Do you think that there's something that you miss? Do you think that it was a mistake that Wargaming just basically brushed them under the carpet as if they were a mess that was unfixable? And are you a new player to the game since they streamlined the tech trees and you haven't bothered at all by looking into the great wealth of awesome vehicles that are available inside the collector's store? Anyway, ladies and gents, boys and girls, that was just something I had to get off my chest in a trip down memory lane. Hope you enjoyed this look at World of Tanks past, really, today. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you hated it, give it a thumbs down. And I'm looking forward to reading you reminiscing in the comments down below. And if you're watching this video as it goes live on Friday, I'm going live all day on twitch.tv/QuickyBaby with brand new drops tokens. So come and grab yourself some loot while I play my brand new Griffin, number 13, baby. Let's go. So really looking forward to seeing you all live. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.